Well, there's certainly panic in the Tory party this weekend, and that would be ultimately because, well, they haven't got a lot of good news, really. All their 5 pledges, the whole reason for bringing in Rishi Sunak to try and stable the boat seems to have, well, only increased the flooding. And to be honest, the flooding just keeps on getting worse and worse and worse. You've had many Tories simply try and abandon ship, saying that they are not going to run for re-election, meaning that they don't have to participate in the next general election, which gives them more chance to be able to, well, look for another job. Let's be honest, why they are doing that. And of course, some are, of course, legitimately saying that they are not going to continue being an MP, and that's some of them, but most of them are, we're going to lose. So might as well start looking for another job. And of course, we've seen the desperation come in from a lot of the Red Wall MPs really try it and really go hard into the immigration angle, which is becoming, I think, really an uncomfortable spot for the Tories to even sort of fight a potential battleground on, even though they are convinced that this is what will save my seat, or at least guarantee me my seat in the next general election. You know, here's the thing. We said it before when we covered their new conservative proposals. Those whole new proposals would create a whole raft of new problems, which then they would have to solve by essentially undoing the very proposals which they proposed to solve the immigration problem in the first place. Like I say, it's a whole bit of a cluster, bit of an omni shambles, as they say. And then, of course, you've had oh, who was it who came out and said, "Oh yeah, we need more EU workers"? Well, you pretty much closed off the tap for all those EU workers. Do you only now realize that maybe you actually needed those EU workers? So there's a lot of internal uh, quandaries going on in the Tory party. But what if you're outside of, shall we say, the Tory party, and maybe you are, shall we say, get your bread buttered by, shall we say, working closely with the Tory party? And indeed, this seems to be currently what is going on. Like I say, these election guru, or in this case, the Wizard of Oz, shall we say, as he is sort of often referred to, seems to be very clearly also seeing which way the wind is blowing and preparing for a Labour government. So, as always, before we go diving into this quite interesting piece, let's see. Please do remember to click the like, share, subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page, and of course the one foundation called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. There's the YouTube thank you button, and of course the Pony Club as well. So let's go on into this, because this comes from the eye, and I think this is just amazing. So, Tories election guru prepares for Starmer victory by hiring Labour strategists to private firm. The political strategist playing a key role in Rishi Sunak's bid to win the next election has begun hiring Labour-linked lobbyists to his firm in a sign that he's privately preparing his business for Prime Minister Keir Starmer. I think that just goes. Imagine this: you've got your election strategist, and yet he is preparing for your loss. Just goes to show you how much confidence he has in his in Rishi Sunak. But yeah, wow, that's all you can really say. Isaac Levido, I think that's how you say it, helped mastermind Boris Johnson's massive 2019 general election victory, and has also recently hired Methala Childen, a former community union senior official who was the national chair of the Labour students, to his firm for Fleetwood Strategy. The Eye has been told that Mr. Levido has also been planning to hire former Labour councillor and senior industry figures Phil Rosenberg to his team, which was previously made up of many Tory figures, such as Michael Gove's former advisor, Henry Cook, and even former Conservative headquarters strategy director, Michael Brooks. It comes, of course, with Labour currently enjoying around a 14 to 20 point lead over the Tories in the opinion polls. One Tory insider said that while Mr. Levido's moves did make sense on a business level, they had raised eyebrows in the party, as the strategist was early this year briefing the cabinet on Mr. Sunak's potential narrow path to victory. Oh boy, this is going to make them this is going to make them even more panicky. And as I've said, the Tories, when they panic, they don't make good decisions. The insider and, of course, former government advisor told the Eye that Isaac is one of the smartest operators in this field and is a huge asset to the party going into the election. But having his foot in both camps is going to go down very badly in Conservative circles. From a business perspective, recruiting Labour people makes sense, but it's a kick in the teeth for Rishi. The man tasked with securing your election victory is privately preparing his business for a Labour government. And oh boy, is that a kick in the teeth when you've got your chief strategist, the guy who is planning your next general election, is basically saying, "Yeah, I'm going to start preparing for a Labour government." And remember, this guy is referred to as like the Wizard of Oz. He's won Boris Johnson big 2019 election victory. He got him into being mayor of London twice. He won David Cameron's victory again in 2015. And bear in mind, the 2015 election victory was not an election that they were expected to win. So this is a guy who has fought, should we say, narrow battles, not being expected to win, and has come out on top. Yet in this case, he's looking at the current Conservative Party, he's looking at Rishi Sunak, and he's going, yeah, you've got a very narrow path to victory. Well, meanwhile, he in the background is preparing his business for a Labour government. This guy can tell which way the wind is blowing. And that is very, very obvious. And remember the fact, I love the fact that this guy is his whole nickname is the Wizard of Oz. But like I say, if even he is going, privately, probably he's not going to win. That's very interesting. However, I think they've got their spokesperson, Fleetwood Strategy spokesperson, said, "We'll just cover this quickly." He said, "Fleetwood Strategy works with some of the most innovative companies across the globe. We're proud of this fact. We hire the brightest and best people from a range of backgrounds." Yeah, doesn't really address the fact that you're meant to be helping the the Conservatives win, or at least fight the next general election, and then you're going, uh, let's prepare for the next government, guys. These guys are probably going to lose, but we're going to just prepare for the next government. That's not good. And especially this guy is like I say, his nickname is the whole Wizard of Oz. He engineered some brilliant campaigns for Boris Johnson for him to win in for Mayor of London, the 2019 and 2015 general election for David Cameron. This guy can clearly see which way the wind is blowing. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. This opens up a massive opportunity for progressives across all sides to really get together and start going, what policies do we want to get done in the next, 5-10 years? I think there is a really big opportunity here for us to really do that. I really do. Because the Conservatives are going to be an absolute mess. Because trust me, the second they lose, Rishi ain't staying on. Rishi's leaving. So that's going to open up a leadership contest, which is going to be very brutal. And then they're just going to go into more infighting. They're going to absolutely descend into absolute out and out infighting, because there are just massive internal questions in the Conservative Party which they have not been able to answer. And now the fact that they're out of power, they can't, shall we say, keep the discontents happy by giving them ministerial positions or putting them on committees, because they're not in power, they're not in the government. So these dissidents, these malcontents are going to become even louder voices. There will be more arguments. There will be more arguing. Ultimately, there will probably be a lot more overthrowing. It will just be pure anarchy and chaos in the Tory party for quite some time. And while that is going on, we have a really good opportunity to really get some progressive stuff done here in the UK. So this is a big opportunity that we really have coming up, and it's something that we really need to start thinking about what we want to get done in the next couple of years. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.